Hi, how you going? So I was watching one of my favourite YouTube photographers and he said this and it got me thinking.
And as usual, I'll make some massive generalisations through the course of this video, which you need to do in a YouTube video, but hopefully that's okay.
Also, side note, go and watch James Popsys. I'll link to his channel in the description. There are so many people online and in real life offering advice that is almost impossible to avoid receiving it nowadays, regardless of whether you want it. And the thing I'm coming to realise is that so much of this advice is wrong. Wrong is subjective, of course, everything is, but the advice we are being given is being presented as something that is the one and only correct solution to a chosen problem, and it regularly ignores context and individual circumstance. It's like that person who says they are just telling it like it is, when in reality they're telling it like they are. They are assigning correctness and universality to an individual, entirely subjective opinion. We have become conditioned by society to want and to expect clear answers, one thing that's going to solve all of our perceived problems, and one pill to cure our medical ills, the one exercise to get us fit, the one system to fix our productivity, the one new thing that we'll buy that will finally make us complete. But there is no one cure-all, and that is not how information is presented to us. I mean, which video people are more likely to click on? This one thing will change your life, or this one thing may or may not help you depending on a number of factors that are personal to your situation. What I'm saying is that the internet is not great at nuance, because nuance does not get the clicks. Certainty rules in an uncertain world, and just like how there is no one cure-all, there are no identical problems, and therefore there is no universal solution, regardless of what we are being told. One size does not fit all, and very likely never will, but they keep telling us it will be different this time. We are constantly seeing sponsored posts from our favourite creators telling us about this amazing whatever product and how amazing it is, and we should definitely buy it or subscribe to it, and they definitely would still be telling us about it if they weren't getting paid for it. Advice loses its value when there is a monetary incentive for someone to give it. These people have a vested interest in you taking their advice, or simply a vested interest in you clicking on their video. But for many people, the only vested interest they have is being right, regardless of whether or not they are. And people want to be right because people are not very good at being wrong anymore. Advice is also subjective to the advice giver, and its impact is subjective to the advice receiver. People are only giving life advice for what worked for them, sometimes regardless of whether it did or not. But the important thing here is that people are unreliable narrators, especially when talking about their own life and experiences. This is why scientists avoid anecdotal evidence when running tests and trials. And most advice on the internet is exactly this: anecdotal evidence, the experience of one person, subjectively experienced and unreliably interpreted. Everything is subjective. Everything. And a lot of advice assumes an objective truth based on the subjective experience of one fallible human mind. Advice on the internet also only considers the success stories. The person online who became a successful entrepreneur will confidently give advice about how and why they succeeded, assuming that everybody can succeed just like them. This ignores the many, countless other entrepreneurs who followed exactly the same steps and did not succeed, and the people who did not have the background, support system, the life experience, or the knowledge base as them. But if you follow my system, you will definitely succeed. Being told to get up at 4 in the morning, yes, there is a 4 in the morning, because that's what we need to do to be effective and productive and efficient and successful. But 4 in the morning would make me tired and worse at my work. But it does work for some people, but it's being presented as the only solution for everyone. And it is not the best or even a solution for so many people. We are all different, and we are all coming to something from a different set of very specific circumstances. Therefore, general advice or even slightly more specific advice from someone with their own circumstances will not take into consideration all of the specifics of our situation. Trends and advice and lifestyles and even knowledge change. What's the best advice this week may not and probably won't be the best advice next week. Even people who are or were right might actually now be wrong. I read an interesting thing about the half-life of facts and knowledge, or the amount of time it will take for half of the accepted knowledge of a particular area to be proved wrong. This is a real thing, and the time frame is shorter than you'd think. Some people suggest that the half-life of medical knowledge is around 18 to 24 months. That is, half of everything your doctor thinks is true today will be proved wrong in under 2 years. This is slightly terrifying, and it's only speeding up. But it's also a lesson for us. Doctors are very highly trained professionals, and their knowledge has a shelf life. What does this say about the unqualified person telling you stuff on the internet? Cultural context is also a big one. A wealthy American entrepreneur with a privileged upbringing is going to give life advice that may be entirely wrong for people of different backgrounds, countries, genders, ages, etc. Again, nuance. Look, I'm not saying don't listen to any advice, but I am saying don't listen to all advice. And the bits you do listen to, take that advice with a grain of salt. Examine it, work out whether it fits your situation, work out what the intentions, perspective, bias, and potential vested interest of the advice giver is. Are their intentions pure? Do they even know what they're talking about? Is this something that worked for them and because of that they think it'll work for everyone, but it actually won't? Is this just something you're looking to follow because you feel you need something to get going? Is it too good to be true? Should you just go out and try something rather than watching video after video of people telling you how to go out and try something? I don't know. But then how could I know? And who does actually know anything? So that's my rant. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or maybe leave a comment offering me some advice. Also, it really does help the algorithm, etc., all of that YouTube stuff, if people subscribe. So if this was interesting to you, please consider subscribing. Thanks for that. And I'll see you next week. Bye.